Asik repek. Asik repek. Welcome to the TOTS stream, everybody. I don't know why I'm talking like Mendoza, but we're here for the vibes. We're here to have a good time. And yes, we are here. Apologies for the delay. First up, we've got two things to say. Number one, welcome to the TOTS stream for season 25 and the build up to season 28. And then the second thing we have to say is a very special shout out to Mr. Spiro, the fish from Evo Lords. Happy birthday, my man. I hope you had a good day from us at the SAPL. Right, let's get down to business. I'm not here alone tonight. As you know, we are the DDK. DDK, the first D is for Vibey Dusty. And yes, I know Vibey starts with a V, but we start with the names. So yes, it's me, your host with the most, my co-host, the second D in DDK. It's Big James.
What an intro. What's up, people? It's been a long time coming.
Yes, and then the K in DDK is the dawn of Old Gen. I don't know how much longer Old Gen is going to stay around, but ish, he's still the man. Kieran, say hi to the people.
Still the man running the show. What's up, beautiful people? I see some comments in the YouTube comment section so far. Ethan, Lewa, William, Rash, hello to all and welcome to the stream, guys.
Welcome everybody. But yeah, on Kieran's side, just an apology for his camera. Like I said, we picked up a couple of bugs while getting into things, but we have to give you a good show, whether you can see the face, whether you can see the eyes, or you can see the LEDs there in the back there by James. He's there to give you a sultry intro.
Turn off the lights.
Light a candle. But yes, welcome everybody. That's your welcoming and opening remarks out of the way. Let's just see if I can get, you guys are here for a few things, but I think the most important part of the stream being who has made it into team of the season, and we are going to start as usual with the old gen. The old gen
mana.
So if I bring up, let's just see production value for the win, guys. Here we go. SAPL Championship. Kieran, take it away.
SAPL Championship, guys. Yes. Now there wasn't supposed to be a SAPL Championship in season 28, but somehow there's still teams wanting to play. But we're not talking about season 28 as of yet. Team of the season for championship season 27 is as follow. Our three center backs are Dean Davids, Matthew Opt, and Karabo. Pick and play and Ngozi FC players. And then our two center mids is Rais Hamaldin and then Darius Morolain. Also pick and play and Ngozi FC players. And then our left mid from KZN boys, Aidan Bota, right, but also from KZN boys, Copen Moses, our Cam, Brennan Morgan from Ngozi FC, and then our two strikers from Pick and Play FC is Shaquille Jacobs and then Mustafa Suleiman. Congratulations to everyone who has made Team of the Season for Season 27 in Championship. We're going to move on to Team of the Season Premiership. So some guys say Olgen is washed, some guys say they the coach of Olgen, some guys are claiming they the best upcoming player since out of all of SAPL, and I'm like, damn, you guys are barking up the wrong tree. But anyways, we're going into team of the season for Premiership in season 27 at goalkeeper from 051 Ziwelele. We have Sean Bernard. Our three centre backs is as follow: Busle Moniante, Zivulile, Ace McKay. Your surname is a bit tough, so I'm just gonna say your name. And then a blue lock centre back Tyler Houston. And then our two CMs or CDMs or midfielders, whatever you wanna say. Caden King from Blue Lock, and then Inkala from that team. I can't see clearly. Mama Uyang Cats, that team. There we go. And then and the right mid is as follows. Siri from Mama Uyang Cats, and then our right mid is Laseti Mota Maha. Jesus. And then our cam for team of the season is Panele. And then our two strikers. One striker claims he's the best. The other striker is just a humble gent. Our two strikers, one coming from Blue Lock FC is Amoleng. And then the other one from Mama Uyangkas is Loazim Bele. Thank you guys for congrats for making team of the season. I look forward to seeing more names in team of the season, end of season 28. And yeah, that's it from my side, guys.
Thank you very much, Mr. K in DDK. The Don of Old Gen has been here. He's riding the wave with the guys. As we know, we just got the 2 leagues, I believe it is. So it still seems to be going strong. But hey, a lot of the talent has been leaving Old Gen, finally getting the PS5s and coming to New Gen. Have you seen anyone that's caught your eye there, Dames?
We see them active in the new gen banter group. See the likes of KD there also, Mr. Lake, and them, the old Silicao players apparently making their mark either from last season, joining new gen last season, and some of the guys that are joining this season. But I think everyone's looking at I guess at KD, who's joined Traumatic, as we all know. So let's see what waves he can make.
Yeah, I think that's gonna transcend very nicely to who we have as our guest, because as you know, we've got a multitude of things happening tonight. We don't
Yes,
only have team of the season, but we are building up season 28. Season 28, guys, starts tomorrow night. Some guys have been sleeping, some guys haven't been training. I hear that Cyber is training a lot more than they usually do, which is strange because it's a merge between DSG and DSG and Cyber. And
Yeah.
DSG don't like to practice, so I'm glad the practicing is happening now. But yes, for now, we are going to introduce someone who needs very minimal introduction. Someone who needs very minimal introduction is not only one of the guys at Zamalek. He's not the captain. He's not only head of the dynasty. He's also head of Brighton FC, not the actual football club, but that in Football Manager. Uh, in Football Manager. So yes, we welcome to you, Mr. And it's not Enzo Amore from WWE either. Enzo Bento.
Hello.
Say hi to the people.
It's good to be here. This is a very interesting introduction. The Brighton part. I don't know if I'm that much of a manager, but yeah, I appreciate it.
But there must be some correlation between what you're doing there on the football manager pitch and EAFC.
I mean, I think maybe like it's a little bit, like it's nice to like put my ideas on a pitch, but obviously a lot of the pro club stuff is different to like football, and like football managers is very closely related to like actual football stuff. So I mean, to a certain extent, yeah, but it's just cool to get that itch, like working with different people and like expressing ideas, especially with Akil, like just bouncing those kind of ideas off. So just scratches that itch.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that dynamic because obviously Joshua Gopal has been at the head
Mhm.
of things for a long time at Zama. And then, looking into your own history, coming from what was the name? Phoenix Predators, where you started.
Yeah, yeah.
And then moving to Los Santos, and then coming up at coming into Zamalek,
Mhm.
and then taking over with Akil. How is that dynamic? Because
I
yeah,
mean,
Akil just joined recently. Josh is out. Is it Satellites? Now he's at Cyber. Uh, I don't know. Talk to us about that a little bit.
well, I think like the dynamic's different with like everyone. Like when I was at Phoenix, I was working with Sajid. I'm sure like all the old gen guys will remember Sajid. Um, I worked with Jared Dalporth at Los Santos. He was like, and then obviously I went to Pirates and I worked with Abu, and then Crusaders I worked with Hitch, and then Zamalek was with Josh and Akil. Like everyone has their own like experience, and it's really cool because I think like to run a team it takes a certain type of person, especially to like run it at the top. And like each team that I played for had aspirations to sort of challenge. So it's very cool to like hear everyone's different perspectives and then sort of pick out like the best bits of it all. But I think the one that I probably learned the most from is probably Josh. Um, Josh was like, yeah, Josh was top. Um, the idea is like he's so passionate about the game, so passionate about the players as well that we signed. With the kill, it's sort of different because I think for him, it's just been like non-stop winning. So that mentality is, I mean, you can see it. Like the moment you talk to him, he's already planning. I think if you ask him now, the guy already knows what Zamalek's team's going to look like in the next 3 seasons. Like that's the way he thinks. So it's really cool to have that perspective and like I said earlier, just bounce ideas off him because we think very similarly. We have, I would say, sort of very close outlook on how we want to play as a team, how we want to manage certain individuals and stuff like that. Because obviously, you need that good relationship with one another.
Right. And then we've had a lot of commotion in the New Gen tournament group. I'm sure a lot of the guys in the chat will know. James has been following that conversation as the SAPL journalist. He's not the actual journalist, he's just our journalist. With regards to, the chatter about league formats and things going forward. And I believe the question was, should the Premiership be reduced to a 10-man Premiership? 10-man, oh my goodness. A 10-team
Yeah.
Premiership. And you have very strong arguments against. Can you just run us through why you think 10-team Premiership isn't the answer?
I think you'd start to. I mean, you obviously read through all of that, but obviously, like most people in the chat probably don't know because that's just captain's talk and all that. But I think the general ideas for me is one, you end up playing the same teams like 3 or 4 times, which sure for a lot of like the lesser teams in that league would be really good because they're constantly playing against the better teams, and the idea is that they would get better. But the problem comes in when like the team at the bottom. I mean, these guys like take so much time to assemble a team. Like I always think of like Ilias. Ilias always like works so hard to build a team every single season, and the next season it gets torn apart by everyone else, right? I think the problem with like a 10-team league is it just gets probably worse. And I think like if you look at a lot of like if you apply it to like actual football, you'd notice it as well. There's a lot of like smaller league structures and stuff that generally just get decimated season on season. The lesser teams just get picked apart, and I think it would just be so not bad, but you'd see a much bigger gap being separated at the top, because obviously these guys are getting great experience to play in like the best league. But it would be such a tough squad building session for sort of the teams that are finishing at the bottom. And my whole thing is like, a lot of people don't believe this, right? A lot of people think I just want to like win all the time. I genuinely want it to be like competitive and play in like a tough league, but I don't think 10 teams is the way. I think Achmat brought up the idea of like 16 or 18. I think that's the way to go. I think 16 is probably the best way to do it, because you're getting the right balance of everything.
Okay, so no teams being hammered 10-0, 12-0, or in the case of Peacemakers.
I think that would still happen. I'll be honest with you, I still think it would happen like over time, because if you think about it, right, like let's say a team gets promoted the season after that 10-team league gets formed. I don't really want to say a team's name, but for the sake of it, let's say one of the teams are finishing like the bottom 3 or 4, whatever, this season. If they have to get promoted to that 10-team league, they're going to be the punching bag of it, like realistically. And you're still going to end up seeing that anyway. So all you're doing is you're just reducing the number of teams that are competing, and you're just going to end up with less quality in the league below.
Peacemakers, personally, I wouldn't take that. He's not saying the name, but personally, I wouldn't stand for that.
Yes.
There has to be an example. There has to be an example in every case study, guys. It's just one of the facts of life. Yeah. So the streets has been very busy, Enzo. I don't know if you know the streets. Junaid claims to have the streets. So
I agree with him, by the way. He 100% has them.
The streets say that Zamalek is only Zamalek because you guys are always signing the best players from every team, weakening every team. So it's almost like, Zama is strong because they get the strongest players. And nobody turns down an opportunity to Zamalek, even to sit on the bench and win a title. Some people are attracted by that. So like the streets essentially in one coherent point. Now my eye is gonna bother me. In one coherent point, the streets say that you sign all the best players, that's why you're the best. Do you agree with that?
I mean, to a certain point, sure. Like, of course, like we do sign, we try to sign the best, right? Like, I think everyone knows if I had the opportunity to sign Justy right now, he'd be the first name on the team sheet. That goes without saying, just because he's the best player in the league, right? I think any captain in this league would tell you if they were in my position, they'd be doing the same thing. Like, you'd want to have the best players in your team as possible, right? But it's not just that. There's a lot of players like the general SAPL community deems to be like the best in their position, and we just don't sign them. It's not always about that. It's also about like getting the right personalities and getting the right people for the roles that we want them to play. But I think to a certain point, yes, I do agree. We do sign the best, but based on experience and like history of SAPL, when teams win, like I always think about like Crusaders, they won a league and they barely improved the next season. They just dropped off. New Era had a similar trajectory where, they tried to carry the same team into the next season and everyone else around them improved. So if we don't improve, we're going to drop off, because, I mean, Ballers last season were right on us. Like, it was so close. They were genuinely right on us the whole way through. So, the league gets separated, by us beating them, and that's it, because they don't actually drop points to anyone else. So we have to keep trying to improve, and like, because also the standards drop if people get comfortable. So you have to sort of sign ambitious players who want to win. And sorry, with regards to the bench story, right? Who cares if these guys want to sit bench? That's my problem to deal with. They want to sit bench, I'm happy.
Shit, even I'll come along for a title, man. I'll come sit on the bench. Rash in the chat says, you guys will give me a title for the bench. I'll come through. Let me know.
Oh, it's like that now. You're just gonna put a knife in my back in public. After
keep it a 2
everything
for 1
I've done
special.
for you.
I can bring you both if you want.
We want the title.
Kieran, do you have any questions for Enzo with regards to Zamalek, the Prem, or anything that you think you'd like the guys want to hear?
Nah, nothing, bruh. I feel like everything that was supposed to be spoken about was spoke about. And
We can
yeah,
talk about your old gen boys. We can talk about your old gen guys that have come over. I'd love to enter that discussion.
How do you
the
feel
old
about it? Yeah.
leave
No,
my
that's
wash gin alone.
that's another Junaid gimmick. Don't steal his gimmick. Because you know,
I think. Sorry, go on.
cover.
Go ahead.
No, I just think it's one of those things where I'll never take a gamble on an old gen player until Junaid's tried him out for a couple of seasons, and then I'll take him after. That's my plan.
Yes.
The next academy. You think the next academy. Oh damn.
So I'm hearing, listening to you speak about, Elias building TMT every time, and I think segueing into the transfers. I see Rashes already jumped me to the point because he's calling traumatic the Southampton of the SAPL. But I think there's been allegations against TMT for being the Southampton of SAPL. Like, why do you guys raid TMT so many times? Like,
No,
it's not fair.
I don't. But there's definitely some culprits in the chat. I can promise you now. I already see them. They love a good TMT raid, or I've seen it before. Even a Zamalek bench raid. Oh, these guys love it. Yeah.
You say they go at it. Well, I also want to know what's this little
Power outage. Beautiful. Live on air. Score.
ambience.
Load shedding. I wonder if there's actually load shedding. Guys in the chat, please do the research for me there. Yeah. What a way to. So now I've got to play with my laptop battery. This is perfect. Right.
Dustin, I actually have a question for you.
What's up?
How confident are you feeling this season? Because I looked at your team and you guys are pulling some names out there.
Yeah, man.
Why are you putting eyes? Why are you putting eyes?
Don't put eyes.
I think Smurf got tired of me asking him every season to join. So he just humored me this season. I think I've been asking him to join Legends since like season 17, 18, around there. Every end of season, Smurf come join. And eventually we got him. So persistence for that one. I didn't plan on signing Keith, to be honest. It just became an opportunity that became available, and I'd like to. I don't know if this is gonna be, how can I say, if I'm glazing or DRing, but thank you, ballers. Thank you for making those guys available to us. I'll be sending EFT or a present or something in the near future. And then you see the thing with us is we just trying. Like it could have gone either way for Legends, to be honest with you, after the season that we had, coming back and putting the team back together. Because I was like, no, I'm not doing this again. I'm just banning this shit. And Dames is like, nah, let's give it one more shot and one more shot. So we tried and we went as hard as we could with the recruitment. And I must say, I am very happy with the work that we've put in. It's obviously headaches for us when it comes to team selection, but tonight we will see how the guys are gearing up, because I'm not going to put my leg on the line. JP has taught me never to do that. We'll just see how things go and see where we land up. But I think we'd be very disappointed if we aren't at least challenging in and around the top 3. So we can
Yeah.
Yeah,
call
it's good
that
to see you all the way at the top there.
Yeah.
Whether
I
it
mean,
happens is a different story, but it's
Yeah.
nice to dream sometimes.
That's the thing also. Of course, Enzo, in management, you try to bring in the best players that you can and just hope it all works out. So even with starting from last season, clearly things, were not working out with the core that we started with. So I said to Dusty, if you're going to give this a shot, I have one condition: let's rebuild this whole thing, everyone, everyone from ground up. So we just got to see, and we were lucky enough to get a lot of good players in. The challenge is, I guess, getting them to play well together.
Yeah, we just
Well,
gotta keep dodging you for now, Enzo. We're not ready
Yeah,
yet.
you and ballers, we have to dodge you and ballers because it's heartbreak.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
I asked because I'm looking at the squad and I'm looking at some of the teams in Prem and I'm thinking, well, yeah, this Legends team should be there, but they're not, 'Cause some of these
We'll do our
teams,
best to be there next season and keep a hold of the players. We can only wish that we do well. It's now up to the team, and how we set things up on a nightly basis. So, no flop from us as captains, hopefully, in terms of team selection. But that segues me to another question for you, Enzo. Do you think that the Prem is going to be competitive this season? And if not, do you think it will be competitive next season?
yeah. So I'll say this, right? I think this season is probably going to be a tad bit easier than last season, just because I think there's a lot more. I really don't want to say it because it's going to be so rude. Do I have to spell it out?
Say to the chest.
Okay, there's a lot. There's a lot more there's a lot more fodder. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I was looking at the league today, and obviously when you have a merger between DSG and Cyber, who are two teams who are pushing top 4. They start off really well. They're actual contenders for the first couple of games, couple game weeks actually. And then you have that kind of merge. You losing a spot, and it's getting given to obviously potentially a team that didn't necessarily earn it, right? So you are losing that. And obviously 11 Gents isn't in the league anymore, City Lads. So those are two teams that are able to cause an upset, at any given point. So you are losing that quality. So I think hopefully it doesn't go in that direction more in the future. And then hopefully we can sort of bring the quality like you guys can come through again. I think it's Evo Lords, and I think it's the team I'm thinking of. They can come through as well. So then you start to fill that quality up again. And then even if we go to 16-team league, then you're starting to see a little bit more competitive. But I think this season's there's a few teams that could cause an upset, and it will be because they're going to be smashing the fodder teams.
So essentially, the battle for the top is don't lose and score as many as you can. All right. Now, if we go to signings, it's obviously been quite. Teams have been active. Some good players have been moving around. Who would you say has had the best window? Looking at who's gone where. You've got South Pros who found a lot of players who were also up in the top 6 last season. Traumatic has also strengthened. You guys have strengthened. Ballers have strengthened. Is there anyone else that I might be missing that you think is a dark horse when it comes to transfer windows? Legends don't count in this instance. We're not Prem.
Executive. Guys, the gents in the suits. The gents in the suits. Executive FC.
I think you're going to see Executive at a good window, sure. But I think if we're going to talk about genuine squad strengthening, obviously it's tough for us and ballers to really go from one sort of like it's tough to measure how much strength we're actually going to get out of transfers, right? Because the teams we've both been so good, like especially in ballers at the end of last season, they had that crazy push towards the end. So, I mean, they added Tweaky to that whole team. Like, wow, you know, like that's obviously a crazy signing. And then obviously the boys he brought with all quality players. But I think if we're talking about like a crazy window, it's got to be South Bros. They were really good last season, and some of those signings, yeah, behind closed doors, I promise you, we seeing that, we're talking about it. Like, there's one player in specific, which I won't say his name, but Donzo knows who I'm talking about. Special signing, like genuine special signing. And I told him that personally already. Like, he's got a very good eye for players, and he's the one who, you know, I'm really impressed with what they did in the window. But obviously, you have like Traumatic, you got Cyber. Obviously, they TMT were looking decent in preseason, so yeah, anything can happen.
Okay. And then I think maybe one of the last things I will touch on as we move towards the other segments that we have planned. Who do you envisage as your biggest threat for the season?
I mean, it's normal, right? It's going to be ballers every time. Ballers are the ones who are always pushing us. They will always be. I think ballers could lose half their team and they would still find a way there, just because the core of their team is so strong. And they've looked really good in preseason from the little bit I've seen. And yeah, I think they will always be, irrelevant of who comes in, who goes out, just because they have the right mentality, they got the right players leading the team. As Rash says, Akil is the biggest threat to mankind. I agree with that. I really agree with that.
I'm inclined to agree with that statement as well. Akil on his own.
And
I think, yeah.
I've also wanted to ask you as well, in terms of outside of Justy, of course, who we know is, you know, one of the GOATs in that position. As a striker yourself, of course, there's been a lot of talks of new strikers that came into the league last season and have quote unquote been performing well. Some other gents are also saying they're going to be they're going to get the golden boot in just 2 seasons in the Premier. Who do you have your eyes on? Who you think can dethrone the likes of you and Justy outside of your teams, though?
Sure, it's gonna look like I'm a major glazer here, but I'll probably say 1, 2, 3. No lie. I think 1, 2, 3. Like, he's one of the guys. It's actually gonna look like I just want to play for South Bros. You know what? I just realized that. Nah, he's someone who, like, I think everyone knows he's a proven goal scorer, but there's been a huge improvement in the rest of his game. Like, genuinely, we noticed it a lot of, especially over last season. Like, Dondo's done really, really well with that team and with him. Yeah, he's added so much to his game, like all round, linking up the play. He's got really good movement and such a good eye for goal. And I think Donzo's just given him the conditions to really score a lot, and especially now with Repsy, yeah, there's going to be crazy amount of goals in that team. So I think maybe him. Obviously, Lake, you know, Lake had a lot to say last season. He would be great, and I think, again, having Josh there to help him, and obviously these 2 captains that he's got, you know, they're going to give him the platform to score goals, him and Yash. But yeah, I think the main one's probably 1, 2, 3, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last question from me. You've obviously made a major signing. You already have a star boy. So what give us some insight into the squad dynamics, because I think JP was your striker last season. Are you taking a bit of a step back and giving Kalen the rub? Is JP playing somewhere else? Are there any positional changes?
Everyone wants to know. But, you know, look, it's one of those things, like, look, I'm not going to tell you what's happening because that'd just spoil everything, wouldn't it? But what I will tell you is, last season we had a backup who only actually played one game, and we actually needed him for more. So this season we've taken an initiative to, and obviously that backup he's not available anymore. So we needed someone to come in and help us, push both JP and I. Because I think it's going to sound crazy, but honestly, I had my worst season last season, and I needed like something to just push me. So same for JP. There's nothing wrong with a bit of competition, and who better to have than Kalen? I think it goes without saying how good he is. So yeah, to just add something different to the team, but everyone's happy with the squad we have. We obviously lost a couple players on deadline day, which wasn't too ideal, but we're ready for the season, and I think we have a good amount of depth to sort of push the starting 11 all around, and just give all the players something to fight for.
Right. You heard it here first, guys. Insight into the Zamalek squad, what they be planning, who they see as their threats, and who the biggest window guys, who had the biggest window. Enzo, before we give you the option to stay or to drop off, we would like to present. So we had the moment of the season saved for the end, but I'm now gonna have to freestyle due to my power outage. The moment of the season, while we have you here, goes to Zamalek FCC for going unbeaten and winning the Premiership without losing a single game. Vamos.
Thank you.
Any words from your side to accept the prize, the vape?
Yeah.
From Vape Crazy.
I've got some words for my team. We didn't go 38-0, so don't get complacent. We got shit to do.
So 38-0 is the next target.
Yes.
All right. You heard it
And
here
they know
first.
that. They all know that.
All right. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us, Enzo. Will you be staying with us or will you be hopping off?
Unfortunately, I need to go eat dinner, so it's a bit of a late one
Yeah.
for me, but I'm starving, so I'll be listening in on the street.
Thank you very much, Enzo.
Brother.
It's been great to be here. Thank you for having me, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Shot
Shot
Enzo.
Thanks. Right. Next on the horizon is the team of the season for the two lower new gen leagues. So that is Super League 1 East and Super League 1 West, presented by Vibe Dusty. So tag who you need to tag, call guys back if you need to call them back. It should be, I think that's one of the best interview segments we've had in the podcast history, must say. Right. We start with Super League 1 East. No goalkeeper, unfortunately. So guys, sign goalkeepers. Or maybe it's not that easy. Find goalkeepers, then sign goalkeepers. Don't be like ballers. Don't be like traumatic. Don't be like these teams who sign 3 keepers and play them in the outfield. Right. Our 3
So-
centre backs. Kieran?
I say you sneak this thing over there.
I'm just saying, bro. William Chetty at left centre back. Diogo Silva at central CB. On the right hand side, we have Amir Coburg, like the power station, I presume. The 2 centre mids in Ricardo Reina and Nino Mogne. On the left, we have Ziandre Martinez. Who's that on the right? Adrian, can you
Who
help me out?
is that guy?
Who
I
the
thought he's
fuck
a
is that guy?
striker. I thought he's a striker. Kanti. Inverted right mid.
Mr. Damien Matai. Did I get the surname right, sir?
Yeah, that's correct.
Damien Matai, right mid. At Cam, we have Kizo Rafik. Oh, yeah, let me go with that. Liam Ruston, left striker, and Kadir Tayob at right striker. Congratulations to everybody who made it. It's been a long season. But we're at the start of a new one, new beginnings. So for the guys who got promoted, we hope to see you in the championship, hitting the team of the weeks there. Right. If we move now to the team of the season for Super League One West, I really didn't want to do this one.
Don't do it. I'm sure no one's really paying attention to this one.
Yeah, so let's skip it. I think we can skip it. Any votes
Oh
to
my
skip
goodness.
there in the chat? No, guys, no disrespect intended, but it's all love and all banter. We'll see each other on the pitch very soon. At goalkeeper, we have Lamart Gous from Evo Lords. On the left side of the defense, we have Pumlani Shungu. At Centro CB, Ruben Smith. And on the right side, we have Junaid Sardin. Our two central mids, I think, has been a mainstay for most of the season. Masood Latu and Keanu Santos. On the left-hand side, Shuai Peters from La Furia, I believe. What happened to that club?
Speak about it.
We
Not
don't
bad.
speak about it.
On the right-hand side, we have Riaz Hendricks. At Cam, we have Ziggy Nathan. And our two strikers in Bandile, Suze, and Ethan Marriott. Sorry, I can't get it in my heart to do the joke that we planned. It's gonna amount to doing. So, congratulations to the Evo Lords players, to Retired FC. I don't need to say congratulations to the Furia because they don't exist anymore. So, Imtiaz, that one's for you.
Lucky.
Congratulations to one of your players. Yeah. Right. So that was team of the season for Super League One West. Next on the program, we asked for guys to come talk their shit. And they are here. We have one of them here. And we are about to introduce Talk Your Shit segment number 1 guest. He is the captain of the newly formed Cyber. No longer brothers. When you disband, you can't call each other brothers anymore. So Cyber, good name choice there. Mr. Achis, say hi to the people. Oh dear.
Brother Achis is Charlie Chaplin.
Unmute that mic, sir.
Can you hear me now?
There we go. That's the voice we want to hear.
My bad.
Mr.
How's everyone
Cyber,
doing?
how's it going?
All good, eh? I think let's get straight to it, man. Yo, Enzo hit a couple of nerves there.
Let's talk about it. What nerves did he hit?
No, I think before we touch on that, actually, I know probably a lot of people wondering like why the merge, and also I think you touched on it when you introduced Cyber as Cyber Brothers No More. That's exactly what the club used to be. It used to be a bunch of brothers playing together, but it gets to a point where the brothers don't want to play anymore, and you're fielding a team that isn't competitive anymore. You're trying to keep it competitive, but it's not possible. And I think Yashko had the same experience at DSG, where he was also trying to field a team that can compete. But now you're showing up on a Monday and a Thursday and you're dropping points against 11 Gents and all these other teams. It's just not going to work, So
Is it a team that can compete or a team that can practice?
I think it's a bit of both. I think Josh has been in my ear about that a lot. We need a team that is going to put in the hard yards, a team that's going to show up. I think, unfortunately, it didn't really work for City lads, but It does. There is merit to it.
That's it. That's it. That's what we want to hear.
But yeah, I think let's touch on the transfers, man. That was quite interesting. There were a lot of good teams and a lot of good players that moved around. I think there's a few that have gone unnoticed. I mean, I don't know if anyone's actually been friendlying RBZA, but they've been doing bits at the moment. I know Paza is there right now, and they haven't really made any marquee signings, and I think maybe that's why they're flying under the radar. But they are playing some good stuff there, and I've seen them pull off some big results. I know Junaid, when he comes on, you can ask him about what happened the other night, but I'll let him answer those questions. Yeah, I think signings-wise, so Cyber obviously been busy, very busy in the window. Like I said, the merge didn't really go as planned. I wanted to bring over brothers, and Yashkar brought his gents over. And then, yeah, when we made the WhatsApp group, everyone left.
Yes.
So, yeah, but in hindsight, if I look at it now, it was actually for the best. I think we've built a really good group of players, and the guys all seem to get along. And I mean, there's some guys in here that you would argue don't like each other at all, but I think it's somewhat of a syndicate right now. We're all on one mission, and we're trying to push for a common goal. So, yeah, Cyber is going in the right steps. I think you probably want predictions there.
I didn't say anything.
No, I can see it in Dane's face, man. I think that's where it was going.
We'll take predictions. We like Nick's on the line.
Yeah, look, we've been very careful in preseason, like Enzo says there in the chat. You wouldn't know because everyone dodges them in friendly. Yeah, we've been trying to keep to ourselves, trying to play behind closed doors, because since we're talking about what real teams do that in real life. They play friendlies behind closed doors.
Like
and there's
Chelsea's
just no point.
first team and then lose to the under-19s.
Exactly. And like, there's just no point in playing the likes of Zamalek and Ballers and stuff and getting smashed when you're still trying to learn and trying to find the weaknesses and the strengths of your team and your players and so on. And like, it's just huge, like, in terms of killing the morale, man. How do you lose 5-0 and then say, guys, but at first 10 minutes, we were unreal. I think we got a good season ahead of us. It's tough, man.
I feel like he's in our party chat, Dusty. I feel like
it's feeling too real up in here.
No, it's true. That's true. But yeah, I think looking ahead at the season to come, honestly, I think it's going to be exactly the same. The same way it started last season is the way the way it ended last season is the way that it'll start and end this season. Zama in first, Ballers second, Troll in third, and with South Pros, Cyber, and RBZA. No City lads, obviously, because they're not competing. I think even if they did compete, they wouldn't be there. But anyway, that's
yeah.
Any questions so far? Any questions so far before I carry on?
I think we're gonna need to cut you off there, so it's a bit too hot in the kitchen.
Junaid can wait a bit. Junaid can wait a bit, surely.
We'll give you another minute or so. I'm also just trying to manage the battery on my laptop. Questions, Cyber. I think you've answered a lot in terms of what we need to expect from you guys, why you're dodging Zama and friendlies and those types of things. Seeing you guys later on the pitch, obviously. Also, please don't destroy us. Thanks. I'm not playing. And yeah, I don't think I have questions. I think you covered it all. You talked your shit. You threw your shots. You took a couple on the chin. I always like a guy that can take a punch on the chin and then come back and give you a knockout. So, is that what we can see? Is that what we can expect from Cyber this season?
I'll be honest. This season, we're not really expecting much. We're just trying to build the foundation. If we find ourselves somewhere in the top 4, great. If not, oh well. The main thing would be just to try and retain the squad, since We know that there's teams out there that want to take the best talent in the league and then say that the league is not competitive. But by the way, just to touch on that, before you say anything, just to touch on that, don't you think it's a bit overkill to say something like, oh, the league is so uncompetitive, but then you get teams like, for example, just top of mind, Peacemakers, bro, they are fighting for their lives down there. They're competing, trying to stay in the league. There is competition in it, but just not where you are at the moment. And that's just the reality of it. I think the gap, I can agree, has just been really large. And at the moment, it's not bridgeable right now. So I'll be honest with that. But yeah, a lot of things are said and a lot of things just contradict. I mean, guys are saying that they're retiring, but then they're also saying that Akil is thinking about the next 3 seasons ahead. Please make it make sense. But anyway, yeah, I think let's cut it there. I think I'm all good for now.
I feel like Liang gave you bullet points.
Oh no, I said I had questions, bro. I said I had questions earlier.
Yes.
But then Enzo was just saying stuff, and so I was like, okay, let me write this down. This is interesting. But yeah, Enzo and I have no beef. Enzo and I are good.
Nah, I appreciate you coming through, Achis. You've entertained us, and I'm sure the rest of the chat very much. We need to give you some more quality time for the 20 minutes you lost last season. So we'll be in touch.
No worries. Cheers, guys. Good stream.
Cheers, my brother. Right. Tokyo shit segment number 2. We got our second guest ready and waiting. He said he got himself nicely prepared for the occasion. He's here representing Traumatic, Captain Extraordinaire, King of Kings, Junaid Timon.
Oh, the camera is
King of Kings.
Why do you have to introduce me like that?
I mean, that's the word that's going around in Eugene, you know, Mr. Man Manager.
Surely only Waza.
It's not only Waza. It's Waza, it's Dames, it's me, it's Yashka also called you the King of Kings, you know. The word is traveling, Junaid.
It's a bit overkill, but okay. I'll take it if it goes so. How's the claims, you right? Kieran, you good?
I'm easy, my
What's
bro.
up, brother? All right,
Nice.
Right, Mr.
Yeah,
Junaid,
I think Achmat touched on quite a bit there, and I don't know how I'm going to top that, but yeah, I agree with a lot that he said.
I feel like Enzo might be returning. I feel like he might have some
Put him
things
on
to
now.
say.
Put him on now.
What all the smoke?
Right,
No, but for
Mr.
real, you mentioned the Elias rebuild, but I've been doing it for the longest, you know. And whether it's known players or not known players, I mean, still we somehow managed to compete in and around the top 6, top 5, you know. But yeah, then it goes back to the point what Achmat made, where Gens have a successful season, and then either the captain of the top 2 teams reaches out, or those players go and for them. So yeah, what can you do?
Snakes.
Snakes, but yeah, glory hunters, man, glory hunters.
Now talk to us about, you know, this talent ID system of yours, because, you know, you've mentioned that you float around in the old gen circles. KD was on the market for like 4 hours, and then boom, into Traumatic. I think I wanted to ask while Enzo was there chatting about when James asked about the strikers that could, you know, be the new Enzos, the Justies of the future. I know you have quite a few of them. Who do you think is going? If that question was asked to you, who do you think is the best strikers in the league after them?
Hey, that is a bit tough. I would like to say JP, but that's lying. I think somebody that's proven it time after time would have to be Fashi, because I mean that guy literally came last season He's been. That's why I constantly sign him. When he leaves, I'll sign him back because I know he's a proven goal scorer. There is a few others, but that's a bit rough, you know. You can't put the name on it, but um, biased aside, I think Fashir, yeah.
Like Warren.
Nah, like it's his first season, so yeah. After what I saw in the 1v1 versus Zama, I can't put that on. You know, I need somebody that's cold up front and that's not gonna fumble under pressure.
Damn. You say he crack under pressure.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Any other guys in your team you want to shout out there, you know? Because I know finishing third was no easy feat. I don't know, maybe it felt easy for you. I don't know. You can tell us. But, like, how do you feel about that third position and how you got there?
Nah, I think I was really available. I think last season was the season that I was the least available, and I think maybe that contributed to the success. I'm sure I would agree to that. But I think Iggy, he really held it down. There was a proper support structure with Iggy, Joe, Smith, and Tony. They were doing a lot behind the scenes, you know. So even when I wasn't present, they were contributing to things. So yeah, but as for the new guard, I think the signings of Kino and Nish, they obviously were still working and within the old gen community. And I'm mixed and new with them from back then. So obviously some referrals or whatever they might bring on board, suggestions, I'll take it into consideration because I'm not running it by myself, you know. So I obviously make sure I allow other guys to give the input. And that's where I get the old guys as well, I guess.
So, despite you owning the streets also speak to me, and the streets say that we might have a Weidman takeover after the season.
Who
Any
knows?
comments?
Every season there's a talk of traumatic disbanding, but I mean it's somewhat Mabena, somewhat Weidman, because obviously the original or the old guard of traumatic is slowly phasing out. You know, there's gens getting married, having kids. You know, different working hours, so you have to phase it in. So I'm not just expecting it to be all on me, stuck on me, and whatever. So I slowly phase it in, and then from there, you know, we'll see what the future holds.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Anything in closing from your side? Anything you
I'm
want
not.
to?
I'm not. I'm not Ahmed. Ahmed came with fighting words. I'm just here to say my point. I let the rest of the team do the fighting.
Lovely stuff. And I hope the guys take that motto to heart, even though Junaid is probably the one starting nonsense and then hiding.
He's undercover brother. You know this guy. He's an undercover brother.
Thank you very much for availing yourself and making time
No
for us,
problem.
Junaid.
Sure,
We
brother.
really
Thanks for
appreciate it.
having me.
Sure.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother. Right. To the main attraction of the evening, the team of the season for championship and the premiership, and I pray to God my laptop makes it. Right. Let's see. Super League Championship times. It is coming your way now.
Hey, let's get into the reason some of you stayed on the stream and listened to us speak for a long time and heard a lot of shots. Let's get into it now. We start off with the new gen team of the season championship. No goalkeeper here, so we're going to go with the three centre backs. At left centre back, we have Mr. Nabil. Is it Shaba? I don't know if that's an M or an H, but I'm just going to say that. Apologies if I butcher your surnames. At central centre back, we have Mahmoud Palmer. At right centre back, we have is it Ziad? I'm not going to say your surname. I'm not going to kill it. I'm just going to move on from there, from No Chill Boys. Moving on to our midfielders. At our first CM is Mr. Dylan Chumi, or is it Chomi? The next RCM next to him is Mr. Sadiq. I'm not even going to say yours. I'm from KZN. I don't speak Afrikaans. I'm not going to try that. I also used to say Kek Dihon Bluff for my Afrikaans speeches. Anyway, moving on
Don't
to
cry.
don't cry. If it's Afrikaans surnames, I don't come there. Moving on to LM, we have Mr. Shabir Zaid, or I hope I said that correctly. At CAM, we have Mr. Rayan Sunday, and at RM, we have Mr. Chad Goodall. Moving on to our two strikers, we have Mr. Zaid Mohammed and Mr. Darren Adams from No Chill Boys, a name that we all are used to and all used to seeing very often.
So
So
tired of seeing
congratulations
that name.
and well
I'm not
done.
lying.
We see him all the time, brother. The bra's always there.
Yeah.
But
All
congratulations,
right.
gents. Well done.
Okay. And then for the thanks for bringing that to our attention, Junaid, in the chat. We will have it corrected. Apologies for that gremlin coming through. But yeah, to do my best UFC impression, it's time for the main event of the UFC team of the season for the Vape Crazy Super League Premiership. Thanks. Take it away, sir.
The moment some of you have been waiting for. Let's get into it. At goalkeeper. To no surprise of anyone else, at goalkeeper we have Mr. Ashvir Harilal from Zamalek. Christos, I hope you are happy. I hope you print this and put it on your fridge or forward it to the family WhatsApp group because you've been asking forever about this stream. Congratulations, brother. Mr. Christos from Zamalek at LCB, at Central CB. No surprise as well. It's just like clockwork. Mr. Mohammed Majoti at Central CB from Zamalek. And at bowlers, we have Mr. Is it Omfe or Ompe? Apologies if I butcher your name, brother.
Benny boy.
Mr. Benny. I only know
Has
you as
he?
Benny. It's your government name. I've never called you by your government name. Congratulations, brother. That's Benny from Bowlers. At Sentiment, the bra that catches a lot of smoke in the new gen group, especially from the bra who he calls Ankh. You know who we're talking about. Congratulations, Mr. Kino De Jesus from Traumatic. At RCM, no surprise, like clockwork as well, Mr. Akil from Zamalek. If we move on to LM, Mr. Stephen Klassen, Big Steph with the short boy from Zamalek. At Cam, no surprise as well, like clockwork all the time, Mr. Pretty Boy himself, Luke Damonse. Congratulations, my brother. At RM from Bowlers, we have Pranes and Sukraj. If we move on to the strikers, no surprise. At this point, we shouldn't even be going through team of the season for Prem because it's always the same players. Besides the keynotes that have come in, everyone else is usual suspects. So our strikers we just had him here for a long chat. Congratulations, Enzo from Zamalek, and the best striker in the league currently, as we all know, Mr. Justin from Bowlers. Congratulations, gents, and well done. We can see it's mainly it's players from the top teams that have made team of the season. Of course, from Bowlers, Zamalek, and one player from Traumatic, but there's something in there too. Congratulations, guys. And well done. Now, Christos, can you please keep my bra's name out your mouth? Stop acting dusty. Stop acting dusty. My days.
What was it? Day 1,672,000 of so and so.
Brother was giving us a countdown from the Craig David song, bro. Yo.
He's saying in the chat, I don't like how my surname isn't there though. But your surname is long. We've
Your
tried so
surname
many
is
times.
almost as long as the alphabet, say. Right. That is your team of the season for the Super League Premiership, and it was season 27 sponsored by Vape Crazy. We just want to give them a thank you for getting the prize money sorted, getting the vape sorted, and I would love to announce all the competition winners in terms of who got the vapes for the streams and all the different things that we said you guys should do. But yeah, my battery is about to die, so that means this TOTS stream is going to be. You can see already. You can't see me. It's not because I changed into John Cena, but you know. When the battery goes, the camera goes, and soon the voice is gonna go. So, James and Kieran, or let's go with Kieran first. Anything in closing from
Gents,
you?
season 28 is arriving tomorrow. For those that are practicing tonight, don't bust your head or anything. Everyone must enjoy season 28 and hope to see more people in Team of the Weeks. And then, yeah, I don't know. I'm still stuck on the old gen, a washed old gen. So wait till I get the new gen gens. That's all I can say.
The time is coming for the dawn. James, anything in closing from your side?
Yeah, man. I think just for me, it's not said enough, and I'm not saying this just because I'm part of that team. But for those of you that know, even before this, before joining them, I used to say this, and I'm not talking about legends, but I'm talking about all of the admins and the admin team, the guys that sacrifice all of their time to go and make sure that all of the stats are aligned, to make sure that they do the graphics for the team of the weeks, that we get the team of the seasons, going through all of those stats, sorting out disputes, going to check guys' scores, going to do transfers. It's something that they don't get paid to do, something that they literally just do out of the kindness of their hearts. And of course, the only thanks they get is being called tyrants. But from us, or from me at least, thank you so much, gents. Thank you to each and every single admin that takes time away from his family or whatever it is that he has going on outside of working life or studying life or whatever it is. Thank you for your time and your effort. At least from me, and I won't speak on behalf of everyone, I'd like to say thank you.
Yes, I'd like to echo that on my side, but also a big thank you to the community as well. It's a very difficult relationship, admin to community. It's not always good guy, bad guy. It's not black and white, and it's not. There's always gray areas when it comes to certain things. But the you guys keep the league running. You guys make the competition. You guys, when you banter, when you post tweets, when you interact with posts, you make the league better, and we want to grow it. We almost gonna start taking over African leagues, but we won't say anything loud right now. But SAPL, viva SAPL, viva Amanja. Yeah, thank you guys for joining the stream. It's been a pleasure, and yeah, we out. Shoo.
Safe.
Peace.